Hey, it's James Anderson here. I'm a realtor in the Lower Mainland, Fraser Valley, out into Cloverdale here, where I specifically live, work, and play. Just a quick little market update of what's going on in the market, what's going on if you're looking to purchase, buy, or sell in these areas. We can certainly give you a little bit of insight as to what's going on and help guide you through that process so you're a little bit more educated and knowledgeable of what's going on. Make educated decisions. It's no stranger to the fact that home prices have come down, but what we're seeing right now is a little bit of increased activity comparatively to our much slower months that we had in the past for August. Compared to 2024, we're up just a tiny bit. We're up 3% from 2024, but we're still down 20% from our 10-year seasonal average. So things aren't as they normally are. It is a much slower market. And the reason for that is probably because the home prices are still pretty high, and sellers are expecting those, or buyers are expecting those to come down. But what we're seeing right now is why we're having a little bit more activity is because expectations between buyers and sellers are a little bit more aligned. We've seen prices come down significantly still, and they're stayed down significantly still. And the outlook isn't that home prices will rise in the near future. What we're actually having right now is one of the largest crashes that we've had at the fastest rate. If you look at where home prices have come, we are down here currently throughout Canada, though. This is all of Canada, but primarily, if you really think of it, the BC and the Ontario market skew it so much, is that we are down 24% in just 3 years. In the early 80s, we were down 31%. So we certainly still have room to go if we want to break any records. But we are certainly, the fact that we have come down so much is now maybe getting buyers off the sideline thinking that it can't get much worse. We certainly are not going to go down another 30 or 40% from here. Next is the outlook and the forecast of what RE/MAX, another brokerage here in the Lower Mainland, says that we are set to dip another 6.5%. Will that happen? These forecasts are always very hard to be sure about. However, that's just one brokerage's forecast of where prices may go in the near future. If we take a look at what's going on right now, this is in the Fraser Valley. We had just this last week, almost 600 new homes come to the market. If you look at what we had last year, though, we had 733 new homes come to the market. So we did see a larger surge of inventory. And right now we are sitting with 7,000 more listings throughout the entire Lower Mainland on the market, 7,000 more listings than we had at the start of the year. So we do have a lot more to choose from. It's just those buyers, those sellers that are, pricing those properties as if it were months and months prior. Next up is where this relates to Cloverdale. And Cloverdale specifically had the best buyer's market they had ever seen for detached homes in the last 12 months. If you take out 1 month that was a few years ago, it was the best time in a very long time for buyers in the market to get the best pricing. We had 12 months of inventory. And how this works is if it's the higher the number, means that the more buyers are in control. The lower the number means more sellers are in control. So if we go out to further years, you can see that basically these numbers don't go into buyer's market very much. If we just go to detached here, you can see that it doesn't go up to buyer's market. Buyer's market is above this 5.5, they call it. Some people call it, buyer's market is above 7. So usually we don't see a lot of months where it is a buyer's market. We just had one of the best buyer's market we've had in a very long time. As you can see, Cloverdale is usually a pretty strong market. If we go to the city of Surrey, you can see that those numbers are a little bit higher. We see a lot more months in the buyer's market and a lot less months in the seller's market. That's overall Surrey, but when you click on Cloverdale specifically, you can see that it's generally a stronger market. We have seen home prices here in Cloverdale come down, though. I mean, we in April, for the last 4 months, April numbers 1.527, and we're down to 1.440. These are a little bit lagging, so we could be even down a little bit more than this. However, that's about a 5% drop in 4 months. It's a significant drop in 4 months. We'll see how that goes on going forward. Like I said, with new listings coming to the market, relistings coming to the market, it's tough to exactly predict if buyers maybe do come back to the market. We'll see. Next is pre-sales. I mean, pre-sales is something that is having a huge issue throughout the lower mainland. Specifically, we're seeing a big change in the corridor along Fraser Valley, along the SkyTrain. But we had zero product come to the market in August, which doesn't really happen. Usually we see a few releases of new product. We had zero. So that is something that doesn't happen very often, and that's probably speaking towards where the market is for pre-sale. There is a pre-sale coming up in the Cloverdale area here. It's Atlan. It's brought to you by Zentera. They're pre-selling pretty soon here, I think, in September. Great location where you can get these big scenic views here because it is sitting up a little bit on top of the hillside there in Clayton. I guess you can call it West Clayton, basically. Here is Fraser Highway right here. The SkyTrain is going to be going right up the middle. 72nd is going to connect to Fraser Highway there. And you're going to have this Atlan development. If we can go down to the map here. This Atlan development right here on the corner of 72 and Fraser Highway. Great little spot, great little location, but we'll see how those numbers come in as we do, given the forecast of not a lot of product getting sold and not a lot of product getting released. Lastly, there's been a couple big issues, big cases involving bank trusts, bank deposits, pre-sale or not pre-sale deposits, but deposits for properties. This was in Ontario. It was a $10 million case. It's a huge, huge issue that is still unfolding right now. iPro Realty is at the helm of this. They mishandled millions of dollars. We'll see what this means, if it changes anything going forward. This is, in my opinion, why these larger firms like Royal LePage and like Remax, why the value of working with them. I work with Royal LePage myself. Why the value of working with them makes a difference, because you can trust that a company that's been there for 100 years, like Royal LePage, is not going to have issues like this. Anyways, if you have any questions about this, if you want to learn a little bit more about your area, if there's a specific area that you're trying to sell to move to Cloverdale, I can certainly break that down. Feel free to reach out. I'd love to hear from you. My phone number will be attached to this. Take care. Bye.